This is lesson 18, part 1, and we're going to be practicing together again. When we're talking about establishing a practice routine, I always recommend aiming low for duration and high for frequency, especially at first. We want to establish a habit, ideally 6 out of 7 days a week, ideally at the same time of day, so that it becomes a non-negotiable habit, just like brushing your teeth. One of the major goals of practicing is to develop ease. This concept of developing ease can be applied to everything from just understanding a concept to being able to understand what the sheet of music is telling us, to being able to actually realize or perform what we're seeing on the page in and through our bodies. One helpful image or mindset or attitude to have can be one of thinking of your body as a small, ignorant child that you're trying to teach something to, something difficult. So screaming at them, becoming frustrated and impatient, and just recklessly hurtling out instructions is not going to lead to effective learning or even to learning the correct thing. So all the strategies you can think of that you could use to help a child learn would be the same strategies that are going to often be very effective practice strategies. So for example, breaking hard problems down into manageable sized chunks, lots of patient repetition, lots of being willing to revisit concepts until it sticks and they develop ease, being patient, going slowly. You will see me implementing these strategies as we practice together. And it's one of the main reasons I want to do these sessions together, is so you can see the strategy. When I break down a time signature, apply it to the pyramid, mark do's, slashes for do's, break down hard chunks by doing them in slow motion. I call it slow motion practice. And then going slowly with metronome. Those are all strategies that I'd love for you to internalize and use with yourself when you're practicing on your own. In everyday life, we measure time or duration in seconds, minutes, and hours. In music, we measure time or duration in beats and subdivisions of those beats. The proportion between seconds, minutes, and hours is fixed. So if an hour has gone by, we can know that 60 minutes have also gone by and that 3,600 seconds have also gone by. We can choose to track time in either seconds, minutes, or hours, depending on which is most helpful or appropriate given the circumstance. The proportion between beats and subdivisions of those beats are similarly fixed. So if one beat has gone by, we can also know that 2 half beats have gone by and that 4 quarter beats have gone by. We can choose to track duration or time in music by either full beats or subdivisions of those beats, depending on which would be most helpful and appropriate given the circumstance. A continuously subdivided pulse can help us more accurately realize or perform more complex rhythms. We're going to continue to practice using our subdivided pulse to realize more complex rhythms. Again, in this example, we're going to treat our quarter note as our 1 beat note. So this is 1 beat, and so that will be do. Our 8th notes will be our half beat notes, so these will be do, day. And then our quarter beat notes will be our 16th notes, the ones with 2 flags or 2 beams, and we'll use do, ta, day, ta for these notes. So we're going to go over here to example 1, and the first thing we're going to do is just mark our do beats, our unsubdivided beats, with slash marks. So our first beat falls right on that quarter note, and that's complete. Our next do will fall right here, the start of our set of 4 16th notes together. Those all equal 1 beat, so our next do falls here. 2/16 notes plus an 1/8 note, that equals 1/4 note beat, so 1 do, and then our final do falls here. The next thing we're going to do is just, again, look for our smallest note value. So I see 16th notes. So I'm going to know that I'm going to want to subdivide our pulse down to the level of a 16th note. So I'm going to try and keep a steady stream of do-ta datas going throughout this example. Then I'm going to look for any new or tricky looking rhythms in example 1. And I see this group here that we haven't done yet. So remembering that do-ta data, each syllable represents 1/4 beat, or a 16th note in this case. We're just going to line these syllables up. Do, that takes care of that first 16th note. Ta will be right here. Day is what we're going to say when we start that 8th note. And we're going to make sure we also hold it through the next ta. So if I say that with a whispered ta at the end, it would be do-ta data. Again, do-ta data. Eventually, do-ta day. Again, do-ta day. Setting our metronome at 50 once again. We're going to be continuing to think our subdivided do-ta data pulse. We can either whisper that when appropriate, mouth it, or internally keep that going when we don't need to be saying the syllables loudly because of a rhythm on the page. We're going to clap our do's. Ready, clap. Ready, speak. Do, do-ta data, do-ta day, do. Looking at example 2, we're again going to mark our big beats, our do's, our unsubdivided pulse. So I'm going to start right there on the first note, and I see 2/16 notes with an 8th beamed together. That equals 1/4 note, so that beat is complete and accounted for. Here's our next do, and 4/16 notes together will equal 1/4 note, so that beat is also complete. Note how they're beamed together. Another do starts here, an 8th note now with 2/16. That still equals 1 beat, so that's complete. And then our final do falls here. So note how here the 16th notes fall at the beginning of the beat, and here the 16th notes fall at the end of the beat. So I can keep that subdivided pulse going when I don't need to speak it loudly. So for example, for this first one, if I go very slowly, it would be do-ta data, do-ta data, and eventually dropping that whispered ta and just internally saying that, do-ta day. Again, do-ta day. Whereas this one over here, if I whisper the unneeded syllables, do-ta data, do-ta data, and then dropping that whispered t, do data. Again, do data. Setting the metronome at 50 again, putting this beat into our hands. Ready, clap. Ready, speak. Do-ta day, do-ta data, do data do. Looking at our final example, we'll mark our beats again. There's our first beat, 2/16 and 8 together make 1/4 note, so that beat is complete and accounted for. That do is complete and accounted for. Now I have 2/8 notes. Those 2/8 notes together will make a 1/4 note, so that's also accounted for. Again, notice the beaming, how helpful that is. Another do starts here. 4/16 note are equivalent to 1/4 note, so we're done with that beat, and here's our final one. We've seen all these rhythms before, so we're just going to try applying it. Try to keep that subdivided do-ta data pulse going the whole time. Setting the metronome at 50 again. Ready, clap. Ready, speak. do-ta day, do-ta day-ta do. Continuing our practice with rhythm workshop by Sally K. Albrecht. We'll be on exercise 3 in the 4-4 section of our book. Looking at example 4, we'll start by just breaking down our time signature. So the top 4 will tell us that there are 4 beats per measure. The bottom 4 we can think of as the denominator of a fraction will tell us that a quarter note is our beat or pulse note. So looking down here at our pyramid, we can know that our quarter notes and rests will be worth 1 beat. They will be our do. Our half beats and half rests will get 2 beats, 4 beats for our whole notes or whole rests, and just half a beat for each 8th note and 8th rest. Setting our metronome pulse at 80 beats per minute and keeping the beat in our hands. Remember to keep the pulse going. During the rests, you can think a silent do during these quarter beat rests. Ready, clap. 1, 2, ready, speak. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Continuing to example 5, ready, speak. Do, 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 do. Moving on to exercise 6 in our 4-4 section. We're on example 3. We're still in 4-4 time, so we're not going to redo the pyramid, but I will remind you that half notes and half rests, the half rests are the light hats sitting on the line, so that's what we see in these examples, are going to be worth 2 beats each. I'd recommend trying to keep, even during the rests, the pulse of do, 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 do going either in a whispered, mouthed, or silent way internally. Metronome is at 80. We're going to clap the beat. Ready, clap. 1, 2, ready, speak. Do, do. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Continuing on with example 4. 1, 2, ready, speak. Do, do. Do, 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 do. Continuing with example 5, metronome at 80, putting the beat into your hands or feet. Ready, clap. 1, 2, ready, speak. Do, 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 do.